of Law. It is our privilege to provide the venue for this debate this evening. And I'm so pleased to see the sponsors, WAPT Channel 16, the Clarion Ledger, and the League of Women Voters get together to bring this informative session to you. I welcome you, the citizens of Mississippi and Jackson, to this debate, and I trust it will be informative and illuminating for you. Without further ado, I present to you the News Director of WAPT, Ben Hart.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here tonight. We really appreciate your time, and we all know this is an important time for us here in Jackson as we look for the next mayor for the next 4 years. This is going to be a dynamic debate tonight. It'll be televised on 16-2, which is our second channel for Channel 16 tonight live, and it's actually on right now. We'll be also live streaming on WAPT.com and on the ClarionLedger.com as we speak. The next time, if you guys want to go back and revisit what's happened tonight, we'll be rebroadcasting this debate on Saturday at 12:30 on 16-1, which is our normal channel, the channel that you tune into every single night, I know. So all that said, this has been a fantastic opportunity, and we are honored to have been partnered with the Clarion Ledger and the League of Women Voters of Jackson, and they are fantastic partners who have strived to make this a fair and exciting debate tonight. So with no further ado, again, I'd like to introduce Marsha Weaver from the League of Women Voters.
Thank you, Dean Rosenblatt and Ben Hart, for that warm introduction to this event. We are so appreciative of Mississippi College School of Law this evening for opening your facility to us. Good evening and welcome to the Jackson Mayoral Candidate Debate. I'd like to thank you for taking time to come and learn more about the candidates who will be on the May 7th ballot. One of these individuals may become your new mayor. I'm Marsha Weaver, as he said, a resident of Jackson and president of the League of Women Voters of the Jackson area. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization and does not support or oppose any candidate or political party. Our partners, as you've heard, are the Clarion Ledger and 16 WAPT News. Also joining us tonight as greeters for this event this evening were the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Rho Lambda Omega Chapter. We thank you for that participation. The moderators this evening who will be asking the questions are Stephanie Maxwell, she's up in the front in the blue, from 16 WAPT News. And we have Sam Hall from the Clarion Ledger. Sam is beside Stephanie. Please join me in welcoming Stephanie and Sam. 5 of the 11 Democratic candidates are before you tonight. Early on, the partners discussed time and space constraints of a live television show for this event. We decided that the debate field be limited for this event through the establishment of impartial criteria. Participants were selected on the presence of 4 of the 5 campaign criteria on March the 22nd. Press releases, public appearances, a campaign office, which is not in the candidate's home, paid campaign staff, and political advertising. A letter was sent to all mayoral candidates before the list was made final. The review determined that 5 candidates met these criteria. We welcome these candidates tonight and all of the others who may have joined us this evening. The questions you'll hear this evening were solicited from the community, including readers of the Clarion Ledger, viewers of 16 WABT News, and the League of Women Voters of the Jackson area. These two experienced journalists will take turns asking the questions and moderating the debate. Now, let's meet these candidates. Please hold your applause until all candidates have been introduced. The candidates are Chokwe Lumumba, Regina Quinn, Frank Blunston, Harvey Johnson, and Jonathan Lee. Let's welcome them. I did a mistake because I got the numbers all messed up. But let me do that just one other time. Number 1 is Mr. Lumumba. Number 2 is Ms. Quinn. Number 3 is Frank Blunston. Number 4 is Jonathan Lee. And number 5 is Mr. Johnson. Thank you for that. On May 7th, these candidates will compete in the Democratic primary with others who have qualified. Earlier tonight, the candidates drew for the seating position and for their order in making the opening and closing remarks, including presentation of debate questions. I'll explain the format for the statements and debate speaking order in just a moment. First, the following are ground rules for all of you, including me, our audience, and our candidates. Turn off your cell phone. No banners or buttons or posters, T-shirts, signs, or other campaign literature materials are allowed in this room this evening. No applauding or clapping will be allowed until the end of the debate. Now for the most important bit of housekeeping before we begin with our candidates' opening remarks, the debate itself. Each candidate will have 1 minute for an opening and 1 minute for a closing remarks. Speaking order is based on that earlier draw. The following introductory remarks questions will begin with the first candidate on the random draw. Subsequent questions will be presented in a rotation based on the order in which the candidates are seated. The candidate being asked a question will have 1 minute to reply. 4 minutes of discussion will follow, which will be open to all candidates as recognized by the moderators. The candidates are asked to raise their hand to be recognized. The timers this evening are Barbara Powell and Joanne Hall. They will hold up a sign when there's 15 seconds remaining and when the time is up. During the discussion period, the timers will signal a countdown of the remaining minutes. Now, I'm going to hand the program over to the moderators, Sam Hall and Stephanie Maxwell.
We'll start our opening remarks today with you, Mr. Councilman, Mr. Lumumba.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone who has been involved in sponsoring this program for bringing it together, and thank all of you for attending. I'm Chokwe Lumumba. That's an African name, like Barack Obama, right? It's not a Muslim name. I'm not a Muslim. I've been a Christian all my life. I'm a member of Word and Worship Church, and also I was in 12 years in Christian school. More than most of you, I'm sure, right? But what we are here today for is to talk about what we offer as a candidate. I have been for 47 years a human rights activist and for 37 years a human rights attorney. I have traveled all across this country and throughout Mississippi and throughout this city, have rescued victims of false accusations from the death row and from various different things which confronted them. Here in the city of Jackson, I have developed youth groups which have helped bring our children and send many of our children to school, to college. I have also developed a number of other things. Thank you. Bye.
Attorney Quinn.
Good evening. And I, too, would like to extend my thank you to the organizers of this event. This is a very pivotal moment for this city. And my name, again, is Regina Quinn. I believe that's an Irish name. But at any rate, I am a native Jacksonian. I grew up here. I've been practicing law here in the city of Jackson for over 25 years. I was Special Assistant Attorney General with the Attorney General's Office. I was General Counsel at Jackson State University. And I'm also a businesswoman. I developed Lakewood Cove. That's a 7-acre, 14 home site, 13 homes are there. And I would tell you there are no water and sewer problems in Lakewood Cove. If you would do me this honor, the honor of serving you as your next mayor, this is what we would do. I fashioned my vision for this city for IC: infrastructure, safety, economic development, education, and infrastructure, safety, education, and economic development. We'll get those things resolved. Thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to dealing with those issues as we go forward. Thank you.
Councilman Bletson.
Oh, thank you very kindly. And since protocol already been established, I'll move on my time, okay? Let me say this. I'm in this race because I want to make a difference in the city of Jackson. It's not about me. It's about you. I've already made this statement that I don't want the salary. I want the position so I can help people. You know, I'm retired, so I can live off my retirement. The fact is this: I want to make a difference in the lives of people here in the city of Jackson. And that's why I am running for mayor of the city of Jackson. I've been a school teacher. I've been a director of the youth detention. I've been on city council for the last 8 years. I've been president for 3 years, and I know I'm ready to go to work. Thank you very much.
Mr. Lee.
I also want to thank the organizers of this event. It's an important business, and it gives us an opportunity to share with you our platforms. Good evening. My name is Jonathan Lee, and I'm a Democrat running for mayor of the city of Jackson. For the last 11 and a half years, I've been running a second-generation family business here in the city. Like many of you, I've been involved in lots of nonprofits and business organizations, and I found that we need some real change here in the city of Jackson, the kind of change that requires true and tried leadership. As I made my decision to run for mayor, I decided that we would focus on what we call those core issues, C-O-R-E. Those issues are crime, opportunities for employment, rebuilding the infrastructure, and of course education, because the other three don't get any better if we aren't making serious strides for those 30,000 kids in our public school system. You know, I truly understand the spirit of public service, and I want to serve this community. This community has been good to me and my family, and tonight I'm looking forward to sharing my ideas for the future. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here, and I too would like to thank the organizers for putting on this event. This will allow you an opportunity to hear the candidates, and I want you to listen very closely to what they have to say. I want you to look at their public record as well as their private record, because that's very important. The next person who's going to lead this city, or the person who's going to lead this city for the next 4 years, is going to have to